We're live.
And we are live. The MMA Avengers have assembled.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We may not be able to save MMA.
No way he's finishing
damn
this.
sure avenge it.
Oh, wow.
And just to let y'all know, Harry said he's in the lobby.
Oh.
That was good. Come on, I've been practicing that.
We got
Oh,
Harry.
thanks for the invite, motherfucker.
Oh man, Harry, you missed it.
I've
What?
been, no, I heard all of it. I've been sitting here with my dick in my hand the whole time.
But aren't
Oh,
you what I say?
wow. Good
Yes,
for you.
thank you, Carrie.
Shall we tell?
Thank you, Carrie, for being the attentive one.
I see it. I saw you.
How is
Like,
everybody doing on this fine Monday evening?
Oh yeah, Harry, doing good. How'd that intro sound then?
Sounded lovely, Manimal.
Lovely.
Crushed
How
it.
was your what'd you guys go to the other night? Flex fights?
Shh, I'm still deaf.
Flex was great. They put on a hell of a show. Stereo Garden was a really cool venue, really well done space. They do like a good job with the production and just making it feel like a big show, you know, making it feel like it's got some pageantry, it's got some personality. So yeah, shout out to TJ Ragusa and everybody over there at Flex Fight Series. They put on a hell of a show. Let Ike and I run around and have some fun, and yeah, hopefully keep your eyes peeled for some more content with Flex coming down the pipe.
Yeah, and hopefully they fucking hire us.
That's right.
Quiet. I thought you guys were on the payroll.
From your mouth to Chris's fucking ears.
Yeah.
Not with my mouth. You should correct that. And Chris's fucking ears, because he could. I could tell you right now that would be the one hindrance, right here.
I'm in the lobby, you schmucks. Oh,
See,
That's right.
okay.
Schmucks
Harry was in the lobby.
waiting.
Woo!
So Fedor fucking Emelianenko. What's
Sad.
your favorite moment? I feel like Manimal was in the same arena with, or same backstage with Fedor at least once.
Yeah. At which Bellator? 185? Wasn't he there? I think he was backstage with either with the Bellator crew or Shlemenko, but you know how I feel about this shit with Fedor. They could have gave Fedor and Shogun could have had a retirement fight in Japan. Why can't guys just appreciate and respect and honor a legend and let him go out with an epic fight? It's so fucking frustrating. Like,
Yep.
Fedor has no right fighting for any title at this point in his career, and it's sad, you know, to see him get washed like that by Ryan Bader, who's like not exactly like the best guy, but at least he's a good guy. But still, they could have gave Fate, and Bellator is the place you could have pulled a Chael Sonnen out of.
Right. I mean, dude, you got JDS out there, you got Josh Barnett out there, like
Leo
there are,
Machini?
right, like there are
No,
old
that's
legendary
terrible.
heavyweights. There are guys that you could have matched him with where it would have been much more competitive and much more meaningful from a legacy standpoint. Like, I don't, even if he did beat Bader and he became the Bellator heavyweight champ, is that really, like, you know what I mean? He's already the greatest heavyweight of all time. What difference does it make?
And that's a long shot to beat Bader at this stage in his career.
Right.
Fedor really, to me, is a 185 pounder in the modern era.
Probably.
In the old era, he could be a great heavyweight, you know, especially juiced up in pride.
Right. I mean, look at Hendo was a middleweight who fought Fedor at heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly. So
It's a different era.
a different era when guys didn't cut as much. Heavyweight had a lot more leeway. But in the modern era, he would have been a middleweight. Frank Shamrock would have been a lightweight. What? Shamrock could have made 55.
Yeah, you're probably right. Frankie Edgar would have been a bantamweight,
which he did at the end of his career. But you know what? Why?
Right. Hey, it makes it all the more impressive to me that he won a fucking belt at 155. Could you imagine today a guy Frankie's size fighting at 155 at that level, like winning a title? Right, right. Merab's size, but Merab's at 135.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would have probably fought 135 back in the day.
Right.
You know, but 55 was the lightest weight class. So 155 was as light as you could go until like, I don't know, 2008. Pretty much, unless it was WEC. But UFC didn't adopt even 155. The 155-pound title was a shit show for about a decade.
For sure.
Shout outs to Jens Pulver. Big fan of what he's doing post UFC career.
Oh, what's he doing?
He
I don't
runs
know.
their Twitch channel, the UFC's Twitch channel.
That's what I was gonna say.
I know.
Yeah. He hosts all of their like fight night streams and like watch alongs and shit. I mean, hey, it's a good gig. I think he has his own like streaming stuff that he does too, but I think his big gig is running the UFC a Twitch account and doing their live streams. And he does a good job of it.
I'm happy for him.
I agree.
I would have loved to have fought Jens Pulver.
Like,
It probably would have been a competitive fight.
That would have been a good fight. 2005, but Joe Lazone, I wound up getting hurt. Joe Lazone got that fight. Whatever. It is what it is.
Hey, what's up, Curtis? That's right. Live and in the flesh.
Oh, we're
out
live.
here.
We are live
Yep.
from my.
Oh wait, we're live.
Yeah, it's that YouTube link you sent. You're
Let's
in
see the
charge,
dick in
Ike.
the hand, Harry. Let's see the dick in the hand.
That's
Henry.
right.
Henry,
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
go ahead, bro. Henry's one. Like, why aren't you passing his joint? I got you, Henry.
he's
Henry's been a brown belt a long time.
Let's break down this Curtis Calhoun profile.
Curtis is good people. Good people. Met him a few years back covering PFL events. He's always on the grind out here. I think he's with My MMA News now, a few other sites. Good folks. Definitely check out his work.
I just
What's
want
up,
to know:
Curtis?
did he crop out his? Is this like a? Is he a groomsman? Is there other groomsmen to the left and right? Did he crop out his wife? Like, what's going
What's
on?
It's a
here?
good picture. What's the headshot
I do
context?
not know.
Joe Biden's next to him.
Just kidding, Curtis.
Sorry,
I love you, double speak.
Right.
Trump.
He's next to
He
Biden.
has Trump on one side, Joe Biden on the other. It's like having God and the devil on either side. You're like, I don't really want to be associated. This is kind of it's a lot here, guys. I'm just gonna my face.
Curtis,
all right,
thank
though.
you guys for sharing,
got-
subscribing, downloading everything. We are growing, believe it or not. We appreciate the love.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I heard
We got a hell of a card this weekend.
we got a hell of a. Oh, can I just say I liked a couple fights from Bellator.
Did you share?
Johnny, I like that Eblin.
Eblin looks legit, man. You shut
did
out
something that-
Tokov like that.
I'm gonna
and
try
shut
one
out
of his
Musafa.
things. I'm gonna box tomorrow. He threw an overhand right to a left hook to the body, and I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "That was nice." And he caught that guy nice and kind of like stopped him in his tracks. And then his wrestling
Kobe
was good.
if he like woke up on the right side of the bed. Like such a likable guy. He's got a cool intro. He boogies a lot. Like
Yeah.
ATT product. Like it's like good Colby, good Jedi. He's like, I love Johnny Eblin. I love you guys.
I have a question for you guys. Who would be the favorite right now in a fight between Alex Pereira and Johnny Eblin?
I don't know, but you know what I would love to see? Johnny Eblin versus Bo Nickel.
Yeah, that would be sick. But I'm just hypothetically, a hypothetical
Eblin versus
champion versus
Pereira
champion matchup. I feel like it's very hard to say that Alex would be a definitive favorite.
Because of how good his wrestling is.
Right.
How nice he
Yeah,
mixes
it's
that
just
up.
it's a very bad stylistic matchup for Pereira.
And a guy that's seasoned, not like
Right.
a Bo Nickel who might not be a seasoned. Eblin, he's had big fights. That guy he fought is no slouch.
No, Tokov's like 30-2, and he fought like killers over in Russia before he was in Bellator.
And Russia is the Wild West. So those fights
Right.
like you might have an easy fight, but you might also have a fight with a guy that's like supposed to kill you. Like literally.
Right. If you rack up 25 pro wins in Russia, it's fair to assume you probably fought some good competition at some
And
point
every
along the
dude's
way.
on the juice.
Right. Oh, did we lose Ike?
Ike.
Ike's the incredible disappearing man.
Everyone's using their invisibility powers tonight.
He's got.
I gotta just put the pizza in the oven. No, that's not like a. That's not
Is
like
that a
a,
euphemism?
no. That I was trying to. That is not.
Is that are you trying?
You're gonna hear him go minutes. Just 1 second.
So I like that Johnny Eblin fight. I thought he looked good, and I liked the combos he was using. Lorenz Larkin looked good.
That
Caught
elbow.
nice elbow.
Woo.
I thought I didn't watch the UFC card, to be fair. I only saw the highlights of the UFC. Except for Black Beast's fight, but that was,
I
No,
also did not see much of the UFC fights live.
But
I got home from Flex and I was ready for bed.
I watched the Bellator card and I thought it was entertaining.
They had a lot of fights that were real good on paper. Real good on paper for sure.
There was another fight that was good. The opening fight of the prelims. Why can't I remember this guy's name? Madsen? Is it Madsen? I don't know.
Roshkov?
No, I don't know. But the guy had. Oh no, Ward.
Oh, Brennan Ward.
Oh, Brennan Ward and Sasalba Hamasi. Yes.
Hamasi, yeah. Hamasi and Ward was a great scrap.
Yeah, I like Brennan Ward a lot. Brennan Ward is fun. That kid comes to scrap. Yeah, great story.
Had a great style. Their fight was great. I remember I watched that fight. I was like, oh, this is a good scrap. It's very entertaining.
That's good matchmaking. That's two action fighters. Like that's
why the Bellator. Why would you have Fedor in the main event?
Terrible matchmaking.
You just had two great but you could have put any main event there.
Kimbo's dead. They have Fedor.
I don't think that it's not like Bader as the B-side to this fight, even though he was the champion, was moving the needle. If Fedor against a fucking trash can would have sold this, you know what I mean? It would have done the same numbers, I feel like. I don't think Bader is to a casual fan, I don't think Bader is really much of a household name at this point.
No, definitely not.
So it's unless it's going to be somebody who's you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, obviously he's under contract with the UFC still, but an Arlovsky or a JDS or a retired Cain Velasquez, something like that. The opponent, I don't think was going to make a big difference. Cain would have been fucking awesome. I mean, that was the one that got away. Cain Fedor,
and it's profitable if they could throw 500,000 at Cain to come back. You think he would take it?
For one
against
fight,
Fedor, he would.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think he would take it against some 23-year-old killer, but yeah, to fight a 48-year-old Fedor, sure.
Yeah, why not?
And it would probably be a fair matchup. It would be a fair, athletic, matchup at this point in their respective careers.
Everyone got damage.
Right. Cain's got dusted knees, his knees are just sand in his joints, and Fedor's Fedor. But I hope that the retirement sticks. I don't need to see Fedor fight again.
Me neither. He's fought enough.
He has.
See it.
He also seems to just not give a shit anymore, you know?
No, definitely not. What do we got coming up? We got big stuff that has not been promoted. Has the UFC ever done a worse job of promoting a double champ fight? So if Volkanovski wins this fight, he becomes a champ. Something that only 5 guys or 6 guys have done, right? How many champs?
Yeah.
The UFC has done no promotion. I see them fucking put slap fighting on, which also is insensitive as fuck, considering that Dana just slapped his wife. It's baffling to me, really, how you throw money into anything other than UFC.
Well,
guys,
I agree.
Don't need to. They don't need to throw any money into promoting. We all do it for them on a daily basis. On Twitter, on Instagram, on wherever we are, sharing their posters, sharing their fights, sharing past fights that are coming up. And everything we're doing, we're just promoting for the UFC. I personally saw a lack of promotion from them about, I'd say, 10 years ago. When, Instagram and shit got really big. They didn't need to promote anymore. Everybody was doing it for them.
Fair point.
Right. But they expect the fighters to promote the fights for them, but they're the fucking promoter. That's your job. Promote the fight.
Right. We're promoting the fights. Kerry's 100% right.
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
We are.
Everyone's promoting the fight.
That's crazy.
Did you guys, Brendan Fitzgerald, the UFC commentator, he goes, well, does the NFL promote that the Super Bowl's next week? And
yes.
Yeah.
They actually spend millions of dollars to do just that every single year.
And what's better than the Super Bowl? the Puppy Bowl, halftime show. Puppy Bowl, Kit and a halftime show, way better than the Super Bowl. I couldn't even tell you who's playing, but let me tell you, Team Rough and Team Fluff, Team Rough and Team Fluff, they're looking good out here. All right, so the hamsters are in the booth commentating.
You've seen the practice tape?
Huh?
You've seen the practice tape?
Oh yeah, they got some all-stars this year.
I feel like the lingerie bowl has been canceled. That's just
Hey, what's up, Brady? Dana could have gotten us UFC Fortnite skins, but had to do full slap fight. That's right. That's absolutely right.
They could have gotten us UFC. Yeah, anything. I would have.
I mean, I saw somebody post this week. They went through the UFC's Instagram over the last week. 9 posts about slap fighting, 1 post about 284, where you have your number 1 versus number 2 pound for pound fighters. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
We all need to go on strike officially and stop promoting.
Yes, shit.
Terry, you want to go on strike for the UFC? We don't promote UFC fights.
I have no problem with that. None.
You know what the problem's going to be?
Nobody else is going to join us. It's just going to be.
No. What's the problem going to be? What are we going to do when Steamroller fights?
Well, we have to put our friends.
And that's everybody.
You know.
That's Aljo, that's Marab.
We got Nas in 2 weeks.
Nas in 2, right? Like, it's hard. If you either promote no one, or you got to just promote it.
Well, I don't know.
So you'd have to do
also the unfortunate reality is that content about Bellator and PFL and One and all that stuff, while I love doing it, it doesn't get the same it just doesn't generate the same traffic. People don't click it. People don't give a shit.
Black Beast, speaking of UFC, Black Beast, come to Brooklyn. Not really Brooklyn. Come to Long Island. You come to Brooklyn, we could chill.
We'll probably go to Brooklyn first.
Yeah, I feel like he would prefer Brooklyn.
Yeah.
No, Long Island ain't got side.
He can train with Zach and Del. But no, come to Law. We'll get your jiu-jitsu up. Come on. You can't be getting head on choked with no defense. You got to at least have a little something. He's like top 5, right? Is he still ranked? What is he still
I think he might not be at this point because he had lost 2 straight before this to Tuivasa and
Pavlovich. 3-fight kid, right?
Yeah, now it's 3 because Pavlovich and Tuivasa both beat him. So I don't think he was in the top 5. Maybe he was like 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah, and Dana said, "Don't worry, he'll give him another fight." So
I'm sure he will get another. They're gonna do to him exactly what they did to Junior Dos Santos, and they're gonna use him to build up young prospects. My guess is he gets Aspinall next. That would be my guess. They use him to build up young guys that they're high on, that they want to kind of move into the conversation.
Yeah. Too bad. So, but Black Beast, fuck their plans. You know, although did he look worse training? He said he was training. Now he's like, "Oh, I've been training hard. Now I give a shit." Is it better to not give a shit for him? Does he fight better not giving a fuck? And that's like his excuse. Like he goes out there and does whatever and does well because he's like knows that if he doesn't do well, he could always be like, "Yo, whatever. I didn't even train." You know, now that he trained, it's like, oh, fuck. Is it worse?
I believe there's something to that. The Nate Diaz versus Connor. What was it? Bisping versus Rockhold. They're just rolling out of bed and just fucking destroying your opponent.
Yeah, sometimes, you're just loose then. But you have to be in shape. You can't come in like totally out of shape. But Bisping, I don't think Bisping just rolled out of bed.
He said he was hitting pads on set. I think he was doing a movie, but he said like he had so much more power because he wasn't like
depleted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
You always got to take all that stuff with a grain of salt. I feel like the truth is probably somewhere in between. We'll never know the real story.
I would say he was definitely drinking within 4 weeks out. Like I think.
Probably.
I've seen guys that needed to drink the day of the fight.
Paulo Costa.
Paulo Costa.
He said he had 1 glass to go to sleep and then he finished the bottle.
Happens to
Who
the
has-
best of us.
Yeah, happens to the best of the night before you fight. Forget about a regular night. Just like, oh, I couldn't go to sleep. I drank a bottle of wine. That's kind of excessive. All right. But the night before, that's excessive. But the
Whatever
night
Aljo
before you
did
fight,
in Abu Dhabi was the key. He looked fucking phenomenal against TJ.
Yeah.
Aljo.
Aljo, phenomenal.
I think he fought at like 7 a.m. there.
Oh, speaking of Aljo, then you guys talk about Jake Fine. You see those two are down in Medellin, Colombia.
Yeah. I saw Aljo's getting the same treatment Weidman got, right?
Yeah, I think the stem cells.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think when you go out of the country, you can get the good shit, like the embryos.
Yeah, because our
Everybody's
medical
able to take
system
it from
fucking
embryos.
sucks.
What?
Yeah, because our medical system's fucking garbage.
Because I told you, and I'm disagreeing with what you had said previously a couple weeks ago. Regulation fucks everything up.
Not for McGregor.
Well, because even for medical shit, it's like, yo, does this shit work? If it works, people are gonna try it.
Mhm.
And listen, it's no more dangerous if you make a decision. You're a fucking adult. If someone gets good results with it, that's up to them. This shit that you push that you say is good fucks people up. Fentanyl's FDA approved. OxyContin, I remember that fucked me up, and they gave that to me. You know,
Dude, my sister could be like, yeah, my back's sore. They're like, all right. Here's a bottle.
My back is sore. Here's some
yeah, that stuff was strong. Oxy is really strong.
That's nothing to
That's-
fuck with.
It's way stronger than this. And this shit's so now they're regulating the fuck out of it. Now I'm going the other way on it. That's why I just want to grow it.
They regulate it so then they can fuck with it.
Yeah, and then they fuck it up. Then they regulate the shit out of it.
Don't touch
And then they
it.
fuck it up.
Like, we're gonna make it legal, and then we're gonna fucking put all these little provisions on it.
Then I'm gonna be paying $1,000 an ounce out here eventually.
Stop.
Then they busted our boy. Talk about persecuting minorities. They said this was supposed to help him. Now, instead of it being a minor drug offense, they made it a major drug offense.
It's like,
Perfect.
really?
Does his name start with an S?
No, we're
Oh.
not gonna put it up on here, but we'll talk about that off camera.
I was like,
We don't name names.
But
No name.
over there today, actually.
Nobody got
Nope.
fined.
Come on.
Spivak.
Nobody.
Fucking Spivak.
And that's a throwback to Odysseus. You know, when he kills when he blinds the Cyclops.
I almost made out with my mother and thought of that movie last night.
What?
What?
We miskissed. Like we were both turning, and I was like, Obitus or Opidus. Homer
No,
Simpson,
Odysseus?
whoever wrote that.
Odysseus or Oedipus?
Oh, two different things?
Oedipus is the
Wow.
one that sleeps with his mother.
Two different things.
I thought you were being the John Attic. Israel, Adesanya. Like you were doing the.
Oedipus?
The phonetic pronunciation.
Do you
Yeah,
need this to be clarified, or are you fucking with me?
I'm not fucking with you.
Hold on.
And I want to think of a segment. I want to call it like Scholarly John. Where, like,
Mysteries.
History is this, and then like music, like
So Oedipus
Beethoven plays for you.
is the one that sleeps with his mother. That's why you have an Oedipal complex.
That's the thing I was thinking when I had a semi.
Odysseus makes the Trojan horse and gets lost on the way back from Troy for
Trojans.
a decade before finally getting back home and killing all the suitors that were, at his crib trying to marry his wife. I mean, the guy was gone for 20 years, to be fair.
I was dead serious. I probably, yeah. Wow. For 15 years, I believed one thing about that.
But
I had the opposite understanding.
no, Oedipus. So Oedipus, his father's the king, and there's a prophecy that his son was going to kill him, right? And marry his mother. So he, exposes him, but he doesn't die, right? He gets picked up. This is a very common trope, right? The baby that you think is going to die gets picked up, gets raised, winds up back to Thebes, gets into a beef with the king, kills the king, winds up back and marries his mother. So trying to avoid your fate often brings about your fate in much mythologies. So that's why you guys just go with it. Trying to avoid his fate, he's like, oh, I'm going to send this kid away. But that's what makes it happen. You doing that. You reacting to what fate told you. So it's always a tough line. If you knew your future, how would you act? It'd be kind of
I
weird.
believe in that. Like, my mother wants my niece to do something active, and I said, like, oh, if you say something, it might change her trajectory. Maybe if you don't say anything, she'll naturally join a sport or something. But in terms of like pushing away something that actually makes it come forth. Yeah,
the opposite way. You don't know.
To tie it all together, did you guys ever know there was a Colombian version, a Medellin version of the Homer word?
Medellin version of what?
They did a modern version of Oedipus, where it's like a guy who's like in a gang who wants to bang his mother. I will definitely find that before. They showed us in high school.
Do you have an Oedipal complex? Freud would have a field day with you right now.
Freud would have a field day with you right now.
I mean, my mom's definitely my best friend.
Oh no, go ahead. We're only the top 200 podcasts in the world.
Wait, do you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you hear the phone?
Very much so.
It's loud, yeah.
Wait,
We hear it.
Loud and clear.
Like, don't act surprised. It's loud. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I'm more concerned that you didn't think we heard it.
This fucking thing. I tried to delete this. Like, my wife sees all my text messages. I know she goes through it on the desktop version.
Carrie, you moved to the living room today, I see.
What?
Today you're broadcasting from the living room.
Yes. Oh, yes. Today I'm not from my bed.
You changed your studio today.
When I'm in my bed, I get too relaxed and then I almost fall asleep. So.
Yeah, that's why I set up my office, and then Henry keeps me accountable, so I don't get too wild. Henry fucking stop. I didn't even what I say. I'm just saying.
Can you guys hear this?
This is why I told you I didn't want you to podcast with me.
No, like
You can't hear the classical music?
I don't hear whatever if you're doing something now, I don't hear it. I feel like you're just trying to give me schizophrenia or something. I don't really know what you're doing here.
Because I want to play like classical music for like John's scholarly history.
Oh, speaking of scholarly, what's the undercard of this UFC? No, what's the co-main? It was a good co-main. I can't remember though. I want to bring it back to
Rodriguez Emmett.
Yes,
That's all I know
interim
about.
featherweight
What do you guys
belt.
think for the main? The main. I mean, I like short kings. That's what I was going to bring it back to historically. Short kings. That's what I was.
At the price. I just right now I'm seeing Volk at plus 300. I've seen him as high as plus 320 this week. Like you're getting, I get that Islam's going to be much bigger. I get that Islam is a phenomenal wrestler. Like if it gets to the ground, it's going to be trouble. But you're giving me the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world at over 3-1. Gotta every time have to take it. That's one that I'll lose 100 times out of 100, and I'll be happy to lose it.
You got to take the bet.
You have to. You have to. He's the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world. And how many opportunities do you get to get a guy that good at a price like that?
That's true, because it's not like when Conor went up, he was the favorite over Alvarez.
Right. This is all about value.
Yeah.
It's all about value, and Volk is absolutely the value play.
Volk has ways to win.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I think it's going to be one of those fights where almost similar to the second Ngannou and Stipe fight, where kind of those first like 1 or 2 grappling exchanges basically told us how the fight were going to go. You know what I mean? Stipe shot. The first time he was able to get Francis down and keep him there. Second fight, he shoots. Francis sprawls hard, no takedown. And you get this sense in your head that's like, oh, that might be that. Like, this is a different fight now. Like, if Stipe can't get this to the ground, he's got nothing for him on the feet. And I don't think that Islam can strike with Volk. I don't think he's that skilled or talented on the feet, even if he is bigger. So I think we're going to learn. We're going to know what's going to happen in this fight after the first grappling exchange is genuinely what I think.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. You know, if Volk can scramble up, which a guy built like us should be able to do. Yeah, he has great distance management, Volk.
Right. And I mean, look at like that tight ass guillotine he got out of with Ortega. Like, he's slippery. He's got good defensive grappling. Like,
and Ortega's is big. Ortega, find a picture of Ortega next to Islam. I bet they're close in size.
Probably close. Yeah, Ortega's definitely a big ass featherweight.
Ortega's a big ass featherweight, and even
fluffy featherweight though compared to Islam. Fluffy featherweight though.
And even though Volk is my height, he's fucking thick. That dude is solid. Like, I mean, I can see his style can be, as a grappler, it's definitely problematic for guys, even if they're a little bigger, to grapple the smaller guy. Jacked. Like, if you're strong and small, you can frustrate a guy by getting kind of like underneath him. It's like fighting, you know, like a spider or some shit. It's like crawling around you, right? And it's hard to get.
I know.
It's like,
it's a terrible.
That's Kerry. One of Kerry's training partners calls her spider bitch.
Get off me, spider bitch.
An endangered species.
The spider bitch. You can find her on the mats.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Sarah's flooded the other day.
Is it?
Saw that.
I miss being there.
Are they open tomorrow? If not, we'll go. We'll just train at Dan's more.
That's what I was thinking. If not, we'll go to race.
I was gonna say you're cutting off a lot of drug addicts.
Train.
Yeah, I guess Tuesday no gi at law tomorrow is going to be a lot busier than normal. I'm Animal.
Oh my God. I've been having 23, 24 guys at my Tuesday night class.
There you go.
A little promotion goes a long way. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right, Harry.
Yes, sir.
What? I promote the podcast too.
I was talking about.
Put me up a little quicker and your joint looks good. I got another one on the back burner.
Why I was holding it, I was like,
That's right, Terry.
What did you say, Kerry? You were looking for the joint and you found that it was in your hand.
I was just laughing at the way I was holding it in my hand. I was like,
Like
I
your
got
French?
the little filters on them. They're fucking cool. The ones. I love it.
So what else are we looking forward to on this card this weekend? I am looking forward to seeing Jack Della Maddalena. Very high on that kid. He seems very, very talented, very, very fun. Although also minus 315 over Randy Brown, plus 260. That's a wide line, and it's a big step up in competition.
What's Randy Brown?
Plus 260.
Randy,
I think
he's a New Yorker. He trains with one of my training partners from my first lifetime.
Matt Cully.
Matt Cully, I know. And then Nardu, his like main trainer. Me and him used to train together my first career from like 2000 to like 2008.
That should be a really good fight.
Because I turned pro in 2003. Me and Philip. This is even old school for you, Felipe.
Nouvelle.
Yeah, that's even old school for you guys. But we turned pro on the same card. Me, him, Jay Haran.
We got a good Jay Haran story last podcast.
Yeah. Jay Haran, I had some good ones. Did I tell you when he back suplexed the coach from NYU?
No.
So we're at Henzo's, And wrestling in the city isn't that it was kind of new, right? So at Henzo's in like, let's say 2004, 2003, 2004, everyone's wrestling sucked. They were jiu-jitsu guys. They had no wrestling. Like they had a little wrestling. So they were bringing in wrestling coaches. So they bring in the wrestling coach from NYU, this guy Mario. And Mario was pretty good. He was like state champ and all this shit. And big. Fucking 6'4", 240, a brick shithouse. And he's teaching the wrestling class. So we were at the wrestling class and we were all wrestling, doing the drills. And Jay's there. Me and Jay Haran are just drilling. And he doesn't know who Jay is. Jay is one of the best wrestlers I ever trained with. And Mario's like, oh, like do the move like this. And Jay's like, all right, boom, does the move, whatever. And then after we live train, and they're going hard. Jay and this guy Mario, and Jay's like $170, maybe $185. It's off season, right? $185, and he fucking grabs him tight waist, gets his back, 5 points, boom, back suplexes him hard. The fucking guy Mario just gets up, takes his fucking shirt off, and walks in the dressing room and leaves. That was it. He was like a fucking the best. Jay Haran was a fucking monster, dude. Let me tell you. That fucking kid could wrestle. He could take down a fire hydrant.
You could take down a fire hydrant like that.
Who else are you excited about on the card, Harry?
That's a good question. I mean, those are definitely the ones I'm very excited for. I do want to see Melsik Bagdasaryan and the kid who Dennis fought on Contender Series a couple of years ago. He's been pretty good. He's 2-0 in the UFC so far. He's got a tough fight against Josh Kulabau. That should be a good one. I like Cledson Rodriguez, that flyweight off Contender Series. He's finally making his debut. He beat the shit out of Santo Curatolo, the CFFC flyweight champ before Pumi. Always love me some Loma Lookboonmee.
Mom's calling in.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom.
That's right.
You already know it, Brady.
At least someone's mom cares. My mom don't.
Back off, Brady. She's mine.
But yeah, man, I think that's about it. I mean, Jimmy Crute coming back for the first time since his leg exploded.
Hold on. Can I stop us for a second?
Yes.
Can I tell one more Jay Haran story real quick?
Do we have a choice?
Okay, so listen. I'm from Brooklyn, so I didn't start driving until I was, let's say, 20. I think I started driving in college. So maybe I was like 20 when I got my first car, right? And Jay didn't have a license at this time for whatever reason. And he was like, can you give me a ride? We were going to Gleason's at the time, just to box. So we would go to downtown Brooklyn to Gleason's for about 3-4 years. But this day I have to go pick him up and drive. And I was like, listen, Jay, I just started driving. I'm a terrible driver. I swear to God. Like, listen, if you want, you might be better off taking the Long Island Railroad. But I'm going to go. He's like, no, how bad can it be? He thought I was joking, but I wasn't joking. So I pick him up. We're in Brooklyn. I fucking make a right turn. And there's a car right next to me. And I scrape this car into the next street. Fuck. Guy gets out. He's like, what the fuck? I was like, you see, I was making a right turn. He's like, I was like, are you okay? Boom. Everything was all right. And Jay's like, what the fuck, dude? You just like, I was like, I told you, listen, just started driving, ironing it out here. So I wind up on the side of the road with this guy. And I was like, his car was a piece of shit. I was like, yo, what do you want? Like, I'll give you something right now. Fucking call it a day. We got to get where we got to go.
You know what I want, big boy.
What?
He said, you know what I want, big boy.
So I gave him $800.
Oh.
Fucking called it a day. And we got the Gleasons. We sparred. We trained. And I drove him back to Long Island.
God bless whoever you sparred that day.
Huh?
God bless whoever you sparred that day.
Why?
Came and fucking fired up.
I don't remember training that day, but we made it there, trained, boom. Oh, you know what I do? I don't remember training, but you know what I remember? There was a juice spot that had just opened up, and they had a carrot juice that It was really.
You know, you're filling the stereotype that city people can't drive because they just take subways.
Oh, now I'm better, but now I'm crazy reckless.
That is true. You got
Like the Long Islanders. Long Islanders might think I'm driving a little nuts. Right, Gary?
everybody's texting. Everybody's texting now.
Yeah.
I try not to do it when I'm driving my kid. I feel like that's crossing the line.
Yeah, you gotta have a. There's got to be somewhere where you draw the line.
This is true.
Traffic tickets. Anybody get the camera tickets? Welcome to Long Island, Manimal. Have you gotten your red light camera?
New York
Yeah,
is
that
like
shit sucks.
New York has the speeding ones everywhere. You like can't go 30 miles an hour, but if you try to go the speed limit, you're gonna cause an accident. You know, like you got to keep up with traffic. Sometimes it's stupid. It's like 25 miles an hour in New York. 25 miles an hour is pretty slow.
Yeah.
On the street.
Carrie, have you ever lit into a cop when you're pulled over? Like I can feel like you're very what would be the word?
Vocal?
But like not disrespectful.
Me?
Like, yeah, like you would be stern. Ma'am, license and registration. Are you fucking kidding me?
I wish.
Ma'am.
No, usually, I mean, like, once when the cops pulled me over, and it was weirdest. It was so bizarre. I'm driving home from, I think, my friend's house, who's a reverend, and all of a sudden I get pulled over, and I'm on, they pull me over on Pulaski Road. I'm like, whatever, so I pull over, and there's a cop in front of me, and then a cop comes behind me. So then I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Like, what is even going on? So the cop's on, I look, and he's at my window, and then all of a sudden somebody says something, I look, and there's a guy at the other window. I'm like, what did I do? And they're like, I forget what it was. My taillights were out, but I was driving through a bad neighborhood. I'm like, listen, y'all don't need to do this. This is just a little bit much. Like, can one of you talk to me? Because you're freaking me out.
She's resisting.
I was so mad. I'm like, this is unnecessary. And then meanwhile, like, I've been pulled over. This is like back in the day, like, literally just having smoked a joint, probably dropped half of it because I remember that time I was freaking out. Cop didn't say a fucking word about it.
They were in there with the flashlight.
Not a word. He was like, oh, she's really high. It is what it is.
They thought Kerry was running drugs.
Yeah, I used to get questions about that shit all the time. Oddly enough, because I didn't care where I hung out. All my friends.
Were you sober at this time?
No.
No.
I mean, I was never pulled over for drinking and driving, so, you know, there's that. But I was never really sober, even when I was younger.
I get nervous going, or I did get nervous going hi to my friends who are cops' houses. Like they'll be like, "Hey, bud, what's up? What's up, bud?" And you're just like, "This is awkward."
What the deal
The
is.
funniest is jujitsu.
I go in there high. We smells like we go in there having just smoked. We don't even care.
That's the right spot, though. That's like it's like part of the ceremony.
It plays there.
I'm enjoying it.
I can
As
see
long as I
that.
don't have to train MMA, I'm okay with being high. But I don't want to like do like hard cage work or get punched in the face when I'm high.
That sounds less fun.
Yeah, although tomorrow I do want to box, but I'm probably not going to get high before it. But jiu-jitsu in the afternoon, I'll box at night, teach my class. Harry, when are you making your return?
Right.
I was at the gym last week, but I'm thinking I'll probably come Wednesday this week. Kickboxing Wednesday night.
I appreciate you coming tomorrow night to my jiu-jitsu class.
I would come to your jiu-jitsu class tomorrow night, but I will be in the city getting dinner with my lovely girlfriend. Are there any MMA stories like Doc Ellis throwing a no-hitter on LSD? That's a great question, Brady. Well, there is
Yes.
the time John Jones was doing blow like the night before his title fight with DC.
I have an old school one.
There
Do
you
you remember the fighter Nino Shembri?
Good old Nino Shembri.
Who could forget Nino Shembri?
Yeah, do you remember that guy?
The name sounds like vaguely familiar, but
Yeah.
not
That guy
springing to
in
mind.
Pride once, they say, was tripping on acid. And he was doing some weird shit in the
Yeah.
fight. He
Well,
was.
you know, I guess, Brady, come to think of it, there's fucking Nate Diaz lost the Takanori Gomi win because they tested his piss and they said that his THC levels were so high when they tested him that he had to have been high in the ring during the fight.
He
So that Gomi win got turned to a no contest. That's the closest I could think of, I guess.
He probably was.
Nate, like, literally smoking a joint in the locker room before getting into the Pride ring at fucking Saitama.
I think that's great.
No. Back that up. What'd you just say?
What?
Getting the Pride win where?
Getting in the Pride ring at Saitama?
Let's back this up. Wasn't that fight in America? Isn't that why the athletic commission was involved and he got tested?
Oh, yeah. You're
Am
probably
Am I wrong
right.
about
You're
this?
right. You're
I
right.
think my MMA history is correct on this.
You're right.
Right? My MMA history is correct on this.
No,
You're
you're
right.
Because
I just,
in
you know,
Japan-
my brain just goes Pride Saitama Super Arena. That's how
In
it works.
Japan, this would never have happened.
Yeah, weed's real illegal there.
It's real illegal. That's the problem.
Good
But
point. Good call, Manimal. Good catch.
I'm
We're
just-
keep each other honest.
Yeah, you don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah, you fucking
Was
scumbag.
This is great. I'm gonna
I am
lean
doing
into
my
the-
best to not be a dick, actually. So this
I'm gonna
is
lean
me
into
trying.
when you smoke. I feel like
Fine.
you're hyper alert. So it's like,
Yeah. No, they definitely don't fuck
yeah,
around with
pretty
that
much
shit
you're
over
gonna
there.
take this whole episode.
Oh, all right. I feel like that about the only thing we haven't touched on is the new tough they just announced. Connor
You
and
motherfuckers
Chandler.
are watching. Don't tell me you're not. I've been
I'm
watching.
gonna watch.
I've been-
Hand up, bro.
I've watched
I mean,
everything.
listen, I'm 100 times more interested in watching that than I am in watching fucking Nunez and Pena, coach. I'll tell you that much.
I agree with that. I agree with it. At the very least, it'll be like,
Misogynist.
It'll be entertaining, right? It'll be entertaining.
Right.
They are two showmen.
might tune in here and there.
I
And
think
I want
Connor
to-
gets smoked when they actually fight, but that's another story.
We were said. You liked that I said that because I definitely think that Connor's gonna lose big time in that fight.
I think Chandler just melts him, like absolutely
Right.
melts him.
Yep, agreed.
You might, but it's
And
a
I-
fair matchup.
It is. I do have from
Nino
a
will fight
source.
Connor
They-
can win that fight.
He can, of course he can. He's always going to have a puncher's chance. He's always going to have that left hand, but I don't
The
know.
fight's-
One of these guys has spent the last like 2 years fighting the best fighters in the world. And you know, even though not all of them have gone Chandler's way, he's been competitive with Poirier and Gaethje. Like that to me alone tells me that he right now is better than Conor McGregor is after the two Dustin fights.
I mean, they both lost to Dustin.
Sure, they both lost, but I think
I mean, Connor's
think-
first, I guess his first fight at lightweight against Dustin, I thought he was doing good in that fight.
I guess he had a couple of moments, but I overall I think Chandler was a lot more competitive with higher level talent than Conor has been of late.
Yeah,
Conor doesn't have a good win since like 2015. Like the ghost of Cowboy at
I don't
170.
even
is
know
not a
how
good
the guy
win.
can train at all. It must be so hard to train when you have $500 million.
Right, and dude, he's in movies now. He's fucking shooting stuff. Like I just don't think he cares anymore. Whereas Chandler is still like. He's still in the sport, fighting the best of the best, getting better, having good training camps, putting on good fights. Like, I mean, I said the same thing when Conor came back to fight Dustin, that Conor had been on a long layoff, hadn't done anything, while Dustin had been only getting better, fighting the best of the best in the division and ascending his way up. Like, one guy got better, one guy stagnated. I don't think this will be any different.
Yeah, and who's
Stop
Connor's
making
camp?
fucking good points.
Like, who's Connor's camp? Dylan Dennis?
Right. Like, is it still fucking Kavanaugh? Like, I don't know, man.
An illegal team.
Yeah. Or no, I know he's got that like McGregor fast gym, but like, right, it's his gym. Like, I don't think he has actual like good coaches around him.
You cannot
Bunch
train
of people tell him,
at
"Great,
your
you're
gym.
great. Connor, you're doing great. While they're
Right.
like,
You can't. I'm serious. Like to train for a fight, you really can't train at your gym because at your gym, it's your gym. No one's gonna like.
Right. Nobody's gonna call.
nobody
check
better
you.
than you, Connor. Nobody better
You
than
can
you,
train
man.
hard. I mean, I'm not saying you
Full
can't train
convinced
hard
man.
at your gym, but you.
Right.
It's
You're not gonna get
I'm not-
challenged the same way.
I'm not saying you can't, but it's going to be pretty difficult unless you're the kind of guy who's like disciplined enough to call in guys to have private sessions where you spar and like maybe like a Glover or some shit like that. But even then, you probably go somewhere else and you'd rather be where you don't have to handle it. Like
Right.
at your gym, too, if someone walks in, you kind of got to handle it, right? Or if you're like training bleeds over into like a class time. Unless you just have your own gym set up where you bring guys in, it's probably really tough to train at your gym, right? You see, like when someone comes in the gym, you don't see Ray Longo training for a fight at his gym. Even Matt would go to Ray's to train. He would train. You do some work at your gym, but it's good to get away 2 days a week, 3 days a week, spar. It doesn't matter, and then you go run your spot.
Just another reason why I'm picking Chandler. And I think we're 2 years out from Jake Paul Connor.
Jesus.
Maybe. How far are we out from me doing something?
Far
Matt
out.
over
man.
Sliver King.
Far out.
That guy
man.
would never fight me.
Manimal,
There's no
let's,
upside to that guy.
I might
For
have
the-
something for you, Manimal. If you want to fight MMA again, I might have something for you.
What?
We'll talk off air.
Have you heard of Flex Fights?
No,
Something
not
like a
Flex
dick
Fight.
card?
Was
What?
that
What is that?
their up and coming promotion looking for guys with good social followings
Wait, what did Harry say? What'd you
who
respond
will
to?
match
Harry?
you competitively?
You ready to fight? Fucking in a coliseum known as Stereo Garden, Patchogue,
Yeah.
New York. You
No,
fucking
it's
ready?
not that.
Ride on your Trojan
that.
horse.
Not that. Not that.
Not Flex. That's not
No. No. No.
Bro, I could totally see you on the main card.
No. It's
Listen, I'm not knocking what they do, but whatever. I like to hear what Harry has. to say.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Hit me up when we get off, because
Yeah, we'll talk.
me hanging. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm doing a lot of jiu-jitsu, so getting ready for. Well, I'd like to do something before Worlds, but by the time my black belt registration thing comes through, it's going to be Worlds 2024. No, I'm just kidding. There's also Masters World September, so I'll definitely do that. But I want to do something before Worlds June. So
We gotta get Harry to fight Robbie from Barstool. Here's their MMA.
I would beat the brakes off of that kid for the record.
I would fucking.
oh, I heard a challenge. You know what? Why don't we put our own card together at this rate? Or anyone you want to call out?
I'd love to.
We get Manimal versus Liver King.
Kerry, who do you
Kerry
want to call out?
versus who would Kerry versus? Megan O'Leary.
I don't know who's my size.
Megan O'Leary would bite it. You could tell she's a biter. She'd be like, like
You talked about my man.
Karen Bryant. Who do you want, Carrie?
I don't know. I'd have to give that some thought. I mean,
Megan Anderson.
What?
Megan Anderson ties one arm behind her back.
I'd have to like climb up her legs. Try to
That girl's big. That's a big girl. And not in a bad way. She's just tall. She's like 6 foot legit.
She could give all four of us a run, like if we had to come at her at the same time.
Oh no, I'm so much better skilled. Come on. Don't
Well,
put
we
me in
would-
that category.
We would have to like
Miss
talk
Sarah
about her
Black
nose
Belt.
job, and then Manimal jumps on her back. We're like,
She would
Manimal,
look real.
finish her. Don't finish yourself. Finish
Listen,
her.
when I put her on her back, we're all the same size.
It's a great saying. We're all the same size laying down.
Yeah, isn't that the premise of jiu-jitsu? Plus, I'm dense. You know?
You got girth.
I mean, but she's big because she's bigger than like. Doesn't Diana fight at 145? And she's way.
There's pussies on camera.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh, Soldier. What's up, Soldier?
We got Harry's dick in his hand.
Dude, look at how
Henry
cute-
is
Soldier's looking.
saluting a Hitler salute, and Carrie's pussy's on camera.
Carrie's pussy's on camera.
She's
Only
giving
one though.
she's like,
Why is Henry doing the Hitler salute? Guys, I'm exhausted.
the Hitler.
I feel that. Like my brain is melted. I don't think I've recovered from Flex yet.
Yeah,
Harry,
shout out to Flex.
we
They
gotta
put on
get
a
your
great show.
Constitution up.
Huh?
We gotta get your Constitution up.
What does that mean?
Oh fuck! You guys don't play D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. Constitution is like how robust your health and vitality is.
Oh yeah, bad.
So-
Mine's bad.
That's like what contributes to like how many hit points someone has, how durable they are,
I
how
see. I
resistant
see.
they are to fatigue and disease.
I see.
So we got to get your con up. I'm looking at my
Fair.
character sheet right now. You know, so I visualize 20th level manimal. Hold on. Before you go, you want to see my insanity? I just put this up. So I have a character
Shield
sheet.
pots in a med kit. That's right, Freddy.
See this?
What do you got there, Manimal?
You see this? This is a Dungeons and Dragons character sheet of me, my manimal. So this way I keep it on hand. So then I can fight off, you know, me with a bunch of different types of adversaries. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So like if I have to fight someone, I can make their character and then I can fight them in the game mechanics with my character, you know, an infinite amount of times. See how it plays out. The problem is when they always beat you, then that sucks. You're like, fuck, this is gonna be a tough fight.
Always unfortunate.
Pokemon.
It's like Pokemon, yeah, I guess.
I still play video games.
Yeah, in Dungeons and Dragons, the game mechanics are done by dice. In a video game, the game mechanics, the computer just generates it.
So we had a fellow Pod Forbid host trying to get on the stream. Shout outs to Justin. He's a former D1 wrestler. He's got something to say about jiu-jitsu.
What's that?
Pick your punches right, Justin. Pick your punches right is what I'm going to say.
All right. Well, speaking of vitality and getting my HP up, I do think I might have to go eat dinner before I pass away at this point.
Go.
You are master of Segway.
That's right. That's right. King of the Segway, baby. That's how
Listen,
you broadcast.
listen, Harry, do what you gotta do. I'm not your coach. Whatever.
You guys can kick me into high gear. The studio is moving along.
Hell
Thinking
yeah.
maybe once a month in person.
Yeah.
Once a week would be too much fun.
Hell yeah.
Maybe
Where?
like, for example, like for this week.
By you, Harry, or by Ike?
By Ike, I think. By Ike.
Harry just shit himself. He's like, what?
Oh, don't come to my house,
Yeah.
Harry.
Hey, I
I'm
got this
outside
place.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, come here.
I'm behind you.
I'm right behind. Turn around.
Yeah.
Turn around. That's what my mom and I.
I'm in your
that's
yard.
what my
All right, friends. Always a pleasure.
Oh, I'll get you
Enjoy
guys.
the
I'm going to
week.
post under this the link to the Colombian Epidus.
Yes,
Good
sir.
night, Harry. We're
Open
gonna
it.
talk shit about you for
All
5
right.
minutes
Yeah.
before we log off.
Love you
Enjoy,
guys.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Disassembled.
This is-